Show need a motion to amend the agenda.
I make a motion to amend the agenda.
Billy made a motion, have a second?
Second.
Okay, Noel second, all in favor?
Aye.
Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everything all right on that? Okay, they'll stand approved as presented. Okay, we'll go down and we'll let some ladies kind of boast a little bit about their MIRMA audit.
Well, as you know, once a year we get audited by MIRMA, which is our risk management insurance. And there's a lot to it, many different, it's not just insurance per se, it's also the risk management where Suzanne has to do a lot of training and we have to document and all of that, and we have a lot of policies that have to be kept on file, and dielectric testing with the trucks, and we have to document everything. So, and we've done very well on that the last several years, and we did very well again. We made 100%. That's because we've done it for years. We kind of know what to look for. They are looking more strictly next year on when we get insurance policies from a third party, like on a contract and such. The city has to be listed as additional insured. There is additional documentation from the underwriters that now have to be provided, because unfortunately, apparently we've got some insurance agents that are just marking that you are listed as additionally insured, but there's no paperwork to really back that up. And so now they're having to make us prove that we are actually. So it's a good thing. It's just another layer of responsibility on our part, but we're prepared to deal with that and move forward on it. So we're looking good.
So anyway, that's and there's not a lot of 100 percentiles passed out. He commented to me, I asked him if that was unusual, and he said Ava and Macon, Missouri, was the only two that had got 100% so far. So that's pretty impressive.
Well, and what happens oftentimes is we'll probably have some other cities that will actually make 100, but the only component of their audit is their utilities. They don't have their general government on the other side part of it. We have the whole thing, so we have a lot to document, but everybody did a good job.
Yeah. And then stress that everybody here done a really good job.
Yeah.
And the
Thank you.
safety training and all that is pretty impressive. And we don't have any ordinances.
Not today.
We was kind of waiting on one, maybe that from the state, but and I'm not sure whether they'll expect. And I'm talking about Michael Wake on the Wake, on our noise ordinance signs. If we'll need to sign have another ordinance for that or not. But anyway, at this time we don't have anything. Do we have any comments from Alderman or anything?
Yeah, Burley, could we get an update on the electric lines over here on the east side that we've been working on, or where are we at on that?
They went back a week before last, and they have got, now this is on Valley.
On Valley, yeah.
Okay, they've got probably, I'm gonna say about 2/3 of it done. They finished up the east end of it. And then, but they like a little bit on the west end, about a third or a fourth on the west end, but they're gonna take care of it. Or they're still working on it. They got a few poles to set, but they don't like too much. They're making progress.
Getting wrapped up good.
Yeah, we've been using them a lot here lately in other projects and stuff. So, but they are working on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And another one, I asked Jeff Cofer today, I said, what about the sewer project over on Grand? And he said the reason we haven't finished that, he said, we can't get any coal mix to fix the ditch. And he said, as soon as it warms up a little bit to where we can get cold mix to fix the ditch, he said, we'll finish it up. And I said, well, I'd like to have it done before spring to see what kind of an impact it will have on the flow at the old all-night station. So, and he said, I think it's gonna make a big difference because, see, part of it's hooked up now. About, I'm gonna say maybe half of it is hooked up now. But the line running by Gibbons Garage to the east is not tied in, so. I haven't had any complaints on the sewage.
So that's all he likes, tying that one part in and then pouring the ditch there.
Yeah, they'll, and they didn't want to do it there in front of Gibbons Garage because of the fact that bringing trucks in and out of there all the time. They wanted to get it fixed and then asphalt it back pretty quick. So.
Yeah.
And he said, we will get it done before the spring rains, so that was an update on that. We discussed last week, was there anything else, any other comments?
I didn't have any.
Okay. We talked last meeting about rates at the swimming pool. And we're gonna have to raise them some, but not a great lot. And this is what, I've got some numbers here that we've talked about. So we'll need an ordinance or a motion to raise that, won't we?
I think we can do it just by motion. Do we need an ordinance?
A motion to, I think we've always done it. I think we've just, well, this will just be rate increases, but I think we've done it with just motion
I
too.
think so, because I think it seems like the last time we did, Sherry did something very similar.
Yeah.
She updated her sheet there and Jens accepted that.
Just updated the sheet.
Yeah, I think so, because it's not a part of the actual ordinance book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a motion would be.
But anyway, I'll give you some prices here if you want to jot them down. The family season passes were, they were $150. That's a season pass, and Sherry said she recommended raising to $175. And the pool party rental, which is like from 7 to 9, 2 hours, and that was from $150 to $175. And this is a splash card, which I don't use that very often, but anyway, what they call a splash card, and it's from ages 4 to 12, and it's $25 for 11. Was $25 for 11 visits. No, she raised it to $25 for 11 visits. Okay, I got that right that time. Okay, the daily admission cost, ages 4 to 12. They were 2, and she's recommended raising them to $250. And 13 and up, she's also 50 cents from $2.50 to $3. And then the swim lessons from $25 to $30. So there's not any big increases on any of it, and but anyway, that's what she has recommended. You know, to offset some of the increases we're going to have from minimum wage. And she runs some numbers. I think it's $158 that it cost last year to have the guards there at a 2-hour party. Like from 7 to 9, it was costing us $150 just for labor, and we was charging $150. So anyway, just kind of, this is not going to offset it, but it'll help some. So if you're okay with those increases, I'll need a motion to raise them to the recommended.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we make
have,
those raises
okay.
that Sherry had recommended.
Okay, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
No second. Is there any further discussion on the prices? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I've had a few questions. I think, it might have been running the paper last week, but anyway, on the grain belt, press release on that, and anyway, got a few questions on it, about, you know, are we gonna see a decrease in rates? Well, that's not gonna, I mean, it may happen in the future, but, there's no guarantee that this line is gonna go up yet. It looks like it probably will. And it will save, projected cost for a city like ours of a population of 3,000, or projected savings might be somewhere around 266,000, I believe is what it was. But it sounds like it's probably going to happen. There's been a lot of debate. I guess that's a good way to state it. But anyway, they've been trying to get it in for like, I think 4 years now. But anyway, it looked like it might happen. But this line, even if it does, this line's going to be, it's going to start in Dodge City, Kansas, go up towards Salina, come across half of Kansas, across Missouri, across Illinois, and stop in Indiana. So this is not going to happen. It's going to take a few years to get this big project going, and I think they said it's like a $525 million project. But I think it will happen. But I just want to, you know, if anybody asks you, are our rates going to go down? Well, no, that's not going to, and not in the near future. It's out there a little bit farther. So we may see 5 years down the road, we may see a decrease, but and that's just going to be, and it's going to be help us get power down here cheaper. So hopefully it will happen. But any questions on that? That's going to.
Sometimes it trickles down through. There's no.
Sometimes it's not there, but that's just that's a projection. But anyway, I'd had some people to ask about it, and of course, and I don't blame them. I want that savings right now, and so I don't blame them. But if anybody does ask you about it, that's quite a project, and it is down the road, and hopefully it will happen. And I kind of think it will this time.
It'll take them a long time to purchase all the right of ways.
Yeah.
And the easements.
Yeah.
Put that
And I think it's
in.
important to remember too, when we're talking about, that's just going through the middle of the state. Once they get that main line in, they still have to tie into the grid and get it down here, and it's gonna be a big process. And I'd say there's gonna be quite a bit of court wrangling before it's over. Yeah.
There's Stan.
Now the party can start.
Yeah.
We have been waiting on you.
I thought these things started at 5:30.
You're 15 minutes early.
How's that try?
Well, you didn't make a whole lot. We was talking about that, we just finished up talking about that power line going across the northern part of the state. And that's down the road a long ways. And if anybody asks about it, then, you know, are we going to see a savings this year? No. But anyway, hopefully we will someday. But that's
Yeah, we don't even know when they're gonna start on it.
right. It's not a given that it's going to happen yet, but it looks more favorable now than what it did. So hopefully it happens. And Peggy mentioned a while ago about it's a dielectric test on our bucket trucks and boom trucks, and anyway, that's part of the audit, and I wasn't aware of that, but anyway, we got that, just had that done, and
Where it's already done.
yes, and all of our trucks passed that. Now we in the past, I believe that was Kevin was telling me in the past that they had one of those boom trucks that didn't pass, and what it was is a silo, the cement silo over there by the road. That dust from that silo would come over and it'd settle on that boom, Well, it was a lot, I guess it would let electricity come down that boom into the truck. But anyway, they had to clean that cement dust off of that, the boom, and which is quite a process. But anyway, that's not an issue, or wasn't an issue this year, and all of them passed. And you know, and the reason for that is, it's like, you can touch a hot wire all day long. As long as you're not grounded, it's not gonna hurt you. But if somebody got into one up here and you're standing down here and you're grounded and you lay your hand on that truck, you know what's gonna happen, you're grounded. But anyway, the truck's all passed, which is good.
That was another reason why we were really wanting to get that vehicle shed over over there, so we could get those trucks in.
Get them inside.
So that dust wouldn't be settling.
And our, the municipal election deadline, the filing deadline is over. So Keith and Stan we'll have to swear them in April. Didn't have an opponent, neither one of them, so that's closed. It closed the 21st. And we was talking about the shed for the electric department. We've got something that we need to look at, and I believe Stan went and looked at it the other day. I'd mentioned something to him, but it's really in terrible shape. And over here for the street department, where we keep salt, maybe patching asphalt, road graders, tractors, brush hogs, some of our trucks in. But anyway, that thing is in terrible shape. I wouldn't ask anybody to get on the roof to even think about patching. It's that bad.
The white building is good. It's that row.
It's the old shed.
It's the old gray metal shed, and
We're talking about just the roof or structural?
No,
period.
It's the whole structure.
It's gone.
I would not.
a heavy snow, it's all down
Yeah.
anyway.
I really think that's true. I think one good wet snow and it may all come down. But anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's something we're looking into now, and try to get something figured out between now and budget time. And matter of fact, I called a Red Arms company this morning and set up an appointment for Thursday morning, and I'll just take Carl with me, and we'll see what we can get figured out on the Red Arms structure. And then I'll have to take this Red Arms structure to an engineer I can get the building engineered, and then I need to get a foundation engineered for that building. But we'll start that process Thursday. And I have contacted a Red Arm building place, and then I have contacted Miller Engineering out of Springfield, and they said that they would engineer it for us. So, and that way we can start getting some pricing on what it would cost, and put it in our budget for July budget. And what we'll do, so we've got salt over there, and it's all mixed in with all of our equipment. If we can get the salt moved to the cemetery in the old Quonset hut that we've got out there, and get it away from keep it separated from all our mechanical equipment, it's going to make that make a much better. And they can actually back a truck into that Quonset hut at the cemetery, and with the walking floor just walk it off with their chemicals. And that's been over here. They dump it on the outside, and then they push it in with the tractor. So I think that'll be really good if we can get everything separated, and all of our chemicals over in that Quonset hut, and keep our trucks and equipment over here in a nice building.
And they're here, they're here in that little white building, and all their trucks are out at the cemetery.
They have to
won't
go,
work on something.
the sanitation department they park their pickups over here, and then they have to go to the the Quonset hut and get all the trash, or get the trash trucks they're using, and then come back over. So anyway, it'll just work much better, and that's what we're shooting for, and I think we can put some numbers together and hopefully make that work. And